What's up, friends and family? My name's Skylent, and we're gonna talk about Black Desert Online. That's cool with you? Let's do it. We got a new class called the Striker. So the Striker is, hey, we blade and soul now. Basically, we got Ken from Street Fight. I don't know, man. Hopefully we're gonna be throwing around some Kamehamehas, at least in the later levels with the Awakening or something. I don't know, but basically we got a Wuxia character finally in a game that already had kind of a Kung Fu inspiration with some characters. At least some characters are kind of grapply, kind of brawly. So we got, I guess some characters do have melee punches and stuff like Berserker, kind of, but not really. Overall, I'm really thinking of like Tamer, and I'm thinking actually Sorceress, but no, we finally have a proper Street Fighter, Musou, brawler type of person. I think this is pretty cool because a lot of other Wuxia games, in fact, I'm thinking of most, like almost all of them, really, they're focused on single target. So Black Desert Online is a game that does hordes of enemies very well. So it's gonna be interesting to see a Kung Fu martial arts type of character in this type of content where it's just, you know, waves and waves of monster. And speaking of that, that's actually some new content here. It's called the Black Raptured Dimension Horde mode to defend an island from waves of monsters. And yeah, you can actually use resources to construct defenses. We don't know how good that's gonna be, how massive the island is gonna be, how much creativity is actually gonna be used in the construction of the defenses. Is it just gonna be brain dead, you know, PvE, or is it actually gonna be challenging? Is it gonna be like a proper horde mode where we might actually get overrun? And by the name Raptured Dimension, I'm assuming that it's actually going to be gated content, as in it's going to be, well, gated because of the island. I think you have to be probably a certain level, and then literally gated as in instanced, because it says Raptured Dimension. So is it gonna be instanced content? Is this the start of instanced group PvE content? And I, for one, welcome our PvE overlords. I think that is probably an okay direction, because right now the PvE is grossly kind of monotonous, but they are actually adding in some new PvE elements to the game, kind of, sort of. They have a climbing system now, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, how that's actually, like, it could be really cool if there's quests and actual, like, certain mob places that you can only get to if you climb. I think that'd be really interesting. Just like with the hunting skill set, you can kill like different creatures, you know, like the leviathans in the ocean. So the climbing thing, it'd be cool if they added in like some bosses, or, you know, some field bosses, or some just completely like grind zones that you can't access, you know, unless you climb. That could be interesting. What I really hope for the climbing system, since you can actually climb like castles and buildings, is if they go back and kind of repopulate like all like Halcyon and all the older cities, and put like little secrets and maybe quest lines in them where you have to utilize the parkour, because the parkour in Black Desert Online is something that's really underutilized, and it could be really, really awesome. And it kind of is kind of cool. It's really an overlooked and underappreciated system. So the climbing system added onto that could be really awesome. And this counts as a life skill, by the way. Yeah, and they're actually going to be upgrading the graphics, apparently. They're going to be trying to upgrade the graphics and the optimization, and they're just basically trying to make the game look and play better at the same time. They're also fixing the UI, and we also got some new guild systems, apparently. You know, that's all intertwined together with the UI. So, I don't know, that's pretty neat. I guess that's definitely needed, absolutely. A big thing that stops a lot of new players from going further in the game is, one, their machine can't run it, or two, their machine can run it, but it doesn't actually look as good, you know, when you're moving through the world as it does just standing still. Hey, this is probably the best looking MMO, or one of the best looking games, period, when you're standing still, but when you're actually moving, yeah, not so much. Anyway, so they're fixing that, so that's pretty cool. Now, one thing that I really like, and I wasn't able to actually review this in my full review, was Node Wars. That's the one thing I couldn't do in the game. I did everything else, couldn't do Node Wars, because you need to be a part of a guild and, you know, actually participate. But now, you can, as just a normal player, you have this thing called Siege War Militia, which it's gonna allow players, the strangers, unguilded players, to join fights on one side or another during a node war. So yeah, that's pretty interesting that you can do that now. So yeah, you can just participate, have fun, you know, and maybe sway the war, maybe a little bit. So yeah, we're also gonna get Zepplins. Now this is pretty interesting. So with the climbing, we're getting a little bit more verticality in the game, and hopefully they make use of it. And then now we also have Zepplins. Now, Zepplins isn't going to be like the full 3D flying like we have in World of Warcraft or some other games like Riders of Icarus, I guess. But it is going to still allow us to add depth to the game a little bit. And it's just something neat and cute and fun, I guess. But it could actually make a difference. Like I said, with the climbing thing, if they start adding in areas that maybe are kind of inaccessible based on like horses or normal jumping, and you have to actually parkour up to them, or maybe use a Zeppelin or something, that could be really, really cool. I think maybe the next expansion, we're going to see more of a mountainous area, and it seems like that's the way they're going. So they first made a desert, then they made the ocean, maybe more of a mountainous area, and you know, they're kind of spiraling outward, and that's actually how the game was probably always designed. It's a sandbox, but you don't move out from the center and then just in any direction. You kind of purposely spiral around the world. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that or not, but all I know is that really what I want is, and they are adding in new zones to kind of spread out people, but what I want is them to kind of refocus on older content and then repopulate that with more depth to give people reasons to kind of circulate and recirculate through the areas, because most people just kind of spiral until they reach Sausons or Pirates, and then they stop the spiral, and then yeah, so we need people to kind of spiral out and then spiral in. Hopefully with this new additions of stuff like Zepplins and climbing, we can get that sort of, kind of. That'd be, you know, neat, I guess. So yeah, those are the new additions that we know of so far. The Striker looks pretty cool. He's definitely the main dish, the elephant in the room. Oh, which you already talked about him. And we do have some more classes on the horizon, and I'm just going to end the video by saying this, that from the history that we see with the game so far, you know, the tracks that it's left and the future now, because we can see what's been revealed and also what's being teased, it seems like they're really going to focus on really just the DPS role for classes. And this is something that's kind of detrimental to me, because I really like role gameplay. Even if everybody is damage oriented, I really wish that there was more variety. So we're getting a Striker, which is a Kung Fu class, but we really did have other grappling style classes. We did have more melee oriented classes. I think we need more ranged classes, kind of, maybe a little bit. I think I would really like support classes. I thought we were gonna get like a sloth, sorry, not a sloth, they look like sloths to me. Otter bards I thought would be cool. We also have a lot of different races that we can take advantage of, from goblins, and I mean, we do have a giant, so that's pretty cool. And then you also have those one weird kobold looking dudes. There actually is a lot of races in this game that we could maybe utilize, but we just don't. It's just all human. We have humans, we have like an elf or two, I think, and then we have the giant. So anyways, it is what it is, and some people like it, some people like me don't like it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Either way, I'm probably gonna definitely pick up this guy and try him out. So if you want to stay tuned, subscribe for that, absolutely. Black Desert's a pretty fun game. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's got ups, it's got downs. It's not for everybody, but it's turning out to be at least better than average, and they're really trying to polish the game and make it better and add depth to it. So can only commend them for that. No matter what direction, even if it's not one that I favorite, it's still, they're going places, and that's pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Just a little update on Black Desert Online's updates. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have fun. My name's Skylent, and I'll see you in the next one.